Hello, everyone. Welcome to my journey with autism. I have a very special guest with me today. Please welcome Box of Beats. I am just welcome him on the show with me. This is a big opportunity for me, so I hope you guys enjoy my episode with him and talking like Q&A and just getting to know each other more. And so I hope you guys enjoy.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for having me. I'm all the way from Los Angeles, so it's a pretty warm day here today. What about over there?
Oh my gosh, it feels like fall over here. It's felt like in the 60s right now.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
It's definitely warm here, but I'm happy to be on. Thank you for having me. Thank you for considering me to be a guest, and I'm excited to just kind of talk and be here and see what comes from it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um, So yeah, what kind of questions? Just fire away.
Okay, my first one is like, what inspired you to make music?
Oh, um, so do you remember when you were a sophomore in high school?
Yes, I do.
So when I was a sophomore in high school, I used to be bullied a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
I used to, because I was really overweight. So
Yeah.
what I would do is, I was friends with everybody, but I wasn't really comfortable. And I think sometimes people that were still friends with me would still pick on me because I was like the fat kid.
Okay.
But I started learning how to beatbox because I thought that if I was able to get good at it, then maybe people would not think of me and like the fat kid. They would think of me and like the beatboxer, which was, you know, cool in high school and stuff. And so I started learning and I started getting really good at it. And eventually I got comfortable enough to like show friends. And then they were all like, whoa, this is so cool. We didn't know you could beatbox. And then they eventually started inviting me to more parties, and I started getting girls' numbers, and it was all sorts of changes. And it ended up becoming like my identity in high school, like my new identity.
Uh-huh.
And it was really good to start doing that at a young age because by the time I graduated high school, I started street performing.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me in front of people, yet got me comfortable with performing in front of people and stuff. And that was definitely um, the inspiration behind starting to make music and beatboxing and everything. I even did choir in my junior and my senior year. That was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that was really cool. You turned not a great situation into a really good situation for yourself. That's really cool. I think. Um,
I think so too.
yeah, I it kind of goes with like I was when I was younger. I wasn't really into exercising, and my sister really was. And then before I married, I was kind of gaining weight. We didn't really know what was going on because there was like nothing in my family that would, go to it, and doctor's appointments and everything. And I decided, you know what? I'm getting in a relationship now. This guy's amazing. He's making me feel better. So I decided for myself to go to the gym and lose this weight that needed to be lost. And I did it for myself because my mom and sister were like, "Oh man, you're getting so big," and it didn't really feel good coming from them. It felt like kind of like putting me down in a way. So then I decided, hey, I want to change for myself, and I have been working out ever since then. So it's been quite a few years for me. So I already kind of know what you're kind of coming from, turning a situation like that, but and then you turned it around for yourself and made it really well. So I understand that. So
That's so cool. I'm happy for you that you got to see. That's why. So would you say that that made you stronger today?
oh, for sure, it has totally changed my mental health into something really strong now. So whatever decision I make in life now, I'm more confident in it because of that, what I went through.
Very cool. So sometimes the bad ends up setting us up for the good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I agree there. I love that idea.
Hmm.
Um, and you said, do you remember how much weight you lost, like before you were like, I'm happy
Well,
now?
I was, pretty heavy, and the pictures I look back now, I'm like, this is so gross. But I lost a total of 47 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thanks. And I had a few coaches along the way to help me, but and then after that, I took off and did it by myself, and I just couldn't stop. And I didn't want to stop. I just felt so good doing it because it made me so happy, and just to, it's my happy place working out. So,
That's great. That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
oh, thanks. So my next question, let's see here. Do you know how long you have been? It kind of goes along with the last question, but do you know specifically how long you've been doing music?
Yeah. I mean, I first started playing like a little bit of guitar and stuff even before beatboxing. Probably when I was 13 years old. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
13, 14, started playing guitar. No, maybe even sooner than that. Maybe 12, 12 or 11 years old. Because when you go into to sophomore year, you're usually like 13 years old, right?
I
Or
have no idea really.
freshman is like 13. Freshman's 14, sophomore is 15, junior
Okay.
15, senior 17, and then you graduate 18. Yeah, so that sounds about right.
Okay.
Maybe a give or take around there. So it's probably like, it was like eighth grade. So it was probably like 12 years old, maybe.
Okay.
And I just turned 32
Okay.
the other day. So yeah, so what is that? 32 and let's say 12. So 20 years.
Oh, okay. Wow.
20 years of music.
Wow. Um, all right. So I have another question. Um, so how did you and your wife meet?
Oh, that's such a funny question.
Okay.
My wife and I, we met in the middle of COVID, like the
Oh,
first 2020, the first year. And we both we both worked on it's like a live streaming app, and we basically ran into each other on like a mutual friend's live stream, and like we were just
mhm.
in chats, and I was like, oh, I beatbox, follow me, and she was like, okay. And so my friend's live, he was like, oh yeah, follow Box of Beats, he's really cool. And then we just kind of talked every day for June, July, August, September, October, November, for 6 months. And then I was like, uh, since COVID was still like very it was in the midst of everything with COVID happening. She wasn't allowed to fly from Europe to the US, but I was able to go from the US to the UK. So
Mm.
I visited her for a month. And that's where we fell in love.
Oh.
Fell in love in the UK, and and from the day we met on the app to almost exactly a year later. So from June 6th to June 16th. We met on June 6th, 2020. We were married June 16th, 2021.
Mm.
So just in 1 year, we, we decided to get married. It was a quick engagement. So
Yeah.
how did you and Tyler meet?
Oh man, people ask us that, and I'm just like, well, it happened this way. It was kind of like we had a group of friends, and I was kind of previously dating one of his kind of friends. It was just really weird. And at that time, we were just kind of hanging out with everyone. And then that one guy just, I don't know, he kind of like snapped, kind of just like, okay, I'm kind of like done. And then we decided just to take it from there.
Nice. How long ago was that?
We've been married 5 years, but we've been together, oh gosh, I would say maybe 8 or 9 years, possibly.
Oh, 5 years. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how we met. Yeah. And we just had in June, this past June, we just had our 2-year wedding anniversary. And so now we get to just continue to count the years as they come.
Yeah.
I like your little Box of Beats logo there, by the way.
Yeah, that's my husband.
Yeah, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. So my other one is like, do you have any words of wisdom of anyone trying to start out in the industry? Like, you have been pretty successful.
I would say that for anyone just starting out, I think like, at least in the music industry, a lot of people have the idea like something's gonna like take off and pop off and like go viral or something. And like, there's a lot of people who have those moments and you'll see like nothing really substantial comes from it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that a lot of people should understand that if like you're trying to be successful in the industry, it comes with far more days that are trials and making mistakes and learning, and so the more comfortable you are with doing those things and still being able to like believe that you're growing and believe that you're learning and not beat yourself up for it,
Mm-hmm.
goes a really long way for people these days. Because sometimes some people aren't built to hear the word no as often as you will hear it when you're in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah, it's a matter of being comfortable with the rejection, or being comfortable with having a day where nothing happens, and like that's okay. Even if you
Yeah.
have a few days like that, that's okay. Even if you don't write a song, that's okay. Like the only thing that can go wrong is you lose your joy and your happiness along the way. And nothing can take that away from you if you can't take that away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Okay.
you don't let yourself take that away from you, you won't let anybody else. So
Okay.
I say the best advice is going easy on yourself, taking time, but never stopping. Just always go at whatever pace you feel like going that day.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Let's see here.
I have a
How
question
can
for you.
people find you and listen to your music?
People can find my like. What streaming platform do you use for music?
For me, if I want to listen to music, I usually go to like Spotify.
Perfect. So, like for Spotify, for example, you can just type in Box of Beats and or it's like Apple Music, Pandora. You can even go on YouTube and you just type in Box of Beats, um, and my music will pop up. You'll find music videos, videos that are on TikTok, videos that are on Instagram. But I am telling everyone who watches any of my stuff, we're really pushing the YouTube channel. So trying to get more subscribers and trying to get more views and grow my YouTube channel because I think YouTube's a great platform.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Oh yeah, I'm done for right now, but yeah, go ahead.
What inspired you to start a podcast?
Well, I've always kind of been into the wanting, I would say, to kind of act, being, commercials type of thing. I did a little stuff here and there locally, but nothing huge because we don't obviously live in LA where you do. So up here is really just kind of like, not much going on, more sports type people. So I really wanted to do that. It really was like, man, it seems so cool. How do things work on a set or a movie? And when I was probably about, for my graduation from high school, I got a surprise trip to go down to California. So I got to tour some studios down there, which I thought were amazing and so cool. And I thought it was a great trip to see how things kind of worked. Then, my mom knew I liked this, but she wasn't into the fact of me, let's say, trying it. She was like, oh, they're just gonna, bring you down. And yeah, I can understand that, but why not try your hardest to experience some of these things that I want to experience? That's kind of like one of my, dream things in life, to do a bigger thing like that. So then, I kind of brought it up to my husband saying, hey, can we try this and that? Because other people would try, like, oh, there's YouTube, there's other, platforms now. Then, so on some of my YouTube or wherever we put it, maybe Instagram, and there's some videos of me kind of talking a little bit, but they weren't really good. They're just really short little videos here and there. And then, my sister brought up, hey, try podcasting. And at that time, I'm like, you know what? I'm not ready to do that yet. Let's try a little bit different. Let's see how this goes. And then after trying to kind of feeling a little like, you know what? I think I need a little bit more. And then I decided, hey, why not try podcasting to get my voice out there? Because I grew up very shy, not, talking like I want this, I didn't speak up for myself very much. And so I think the podcast, my journey through autism would help people see that don't be afraid if you are different too. Put your voice out there and what you want, because, even now I have been through a lot of struggles. So I have to speak up for myself and be like, hey, this is what I want. Please listen. So I think, like I said, the podcast, I hope, are really going to inspire some people who are on the spectrum or others who do not know what that is, and they can try to help, their family members. So that's where that inspiration came from.
Wow, that's great. That's so cool. Good job. Congratulations.
Thanks. So yeah, if you have any more questions for me along that line of being on the spectrum, I am totally open for what have you asked.
Sure. Let's see. So, how old were you when you found out that you were on the spectrum?
Well, back when I was around maybe 2 or 3, my mom worked at this child center, and one of her coworkers was just kind of like, okay, there's something a little bit different about your child. I think it may be, maybe autism or whatever he said back then. I was so little. And she was kind of denying, like, no, my child's just maybe a little bit slower. Nothing is wrong with her. And so I kind of, went through, growing up. And when I think we started to see the real struggle, probably when I was maybe 3rd grade. So I was probably about 8 years old at that time. And I went to a private school. And the teacher was really, really good to me. She tried her best for me to get extra help. And I was a few years behind my peers. And I felt, just like, what's going on? I didn't really, it felt unfair to me because I had to do 4th grade twice. So then I got all these testing done, and I did not like the testing. It was so long and so boring for a little girl to go through testing for hours and hours. So probably maybe my 5th grade year, I was probably we got the official diagnosis about 11 years old. And my mom said, this is what you have. And I'm like, my initial reaction was like, am I going to die? And she was like, no, you're not going to die. It's not like a disease like that. It's something different in your brain, and you're wired differently, And so I got, like I said, diagnosed at 11, and it was a lot of work getting to that point, the official diagnosis. I talked to other people now who are autistic, and they got diagnosed, a lot younger in life, but it's more common in males than females. So, and I'm a female, so it was a little bit kind of harder. And, some people don't even know I have it because I'm so high functioning. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And then once they know me, they're like, oh, I could see that. So that's how I got diagnosed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you seem very high functioning. I understand why they would say that.
Yeah.
But that's about it. That's all I have. I didn't have too many questions. So yeah.
I mean, do you in your day-to-day life, do you come across anybody who's autistic? Do you even really know about it?
Yeah, well, my wife, her brother, his name is Lucas, and he's autistic, and he's also has Down syndrome.
Oh, okay.
So, for all of her life, she was always helping, taking care of him, and because she's older than him. So, but yeah, I think I haven't had that close proximity to having someone on the spectrum living under the same roof as me, but
Okay.
she has, and she's told me a lot about it. She actually used to work when she lived in Brazil and in London. She used to work at few facilities as an aide where like they help a lot of the people who were more on the non-functioning,
Okay.
like they're very they needed someone watching them all the time and
Yeah.
often and stuff like that. And so so she's, you know, she's told me stories, and she shared the struggles, and you know, her brother, you know, her own blood is, you know, is on the spectrum, very very on the opposite side of functioning, you know. So
Okay.
he's he's I believe he's 24, 25 years old,
Hmm.
and he goes to, you know, a therapy facility a couple times a week, and he's got the team of people that help him, and but you know, he lives with Camila's mom and stuff, and
Okay.
but everyone, you know, Camila's dad, everybody helps out, everybody, you know, we all they all, you know, um they all help out and do as much as they can. But he's such a sweetheart, and he's you know, he doesn't speak.
Okay.
He's um he does make like sounds and stuff, but he doesn't speak. But he can understand to an extent, and he smiles and laughs and has his temper tantrums and has his great
Hmm.
moments, and you know, full experience of emotions. And so yeah, I'm pretty familiar with it. I know people who are also outside of you now, but also people who are pretty high functioning on the autistic spectrum,
Oh,
so so yeah, I'm pretty familiar, and I grew up with someone who we went to school together, and he's autistic. So
okay. Yeah, I run into people here and there. My mom has a friend who her son's pretty autistic as well, and he doesn't speak very much. It's, you know, it's weird knowing that I share the same diagnosis, but it's a spectrum because everybody falls in a different category. Um, and I'm just very thankful that I can um, ask and talk and speak my mind sometimes, because sometimes I feel in some ways that people who are more have more of a disability that are not capable of that, and it feels kind of unfair, like they can't speak up for themselves. You know, I feel bad for them, but also if they have a good um, support system for people like that would be is great. And you know, I had supports here and there. You know, some were really good, some were just like, okay, that didn't work out, and it is frustrating. But once you find that right person to help, whoever it is, it will be great for them. You know, it's, you know, I kind of wanted to start this podcast kind of in general too, just to, you know, I kind of feel like, yes, I struggle. I'm diagnosed with this, but I also wanted to inspire a lot more people in the world to maybe come up to me, like, you know, if I'm out in public and say, hey, can I talk to you? Can I get a picture with you? You inspire me so much because you helped me through my life when I was struggling so hard, and I'm on the spectrum, you know, and I would be like, oh my gosh, I will totally help you. I totally understand you. I just want to be like that public figure of, but somebody who's a little bit different, and give more people who are different more of an opportunity in, let's say, you know, the entertainment business or whatever their passion is, and give them more chances, because I don't think people really get that chance when you are different. So I really want to speak up for whoever is struggling, and I just really want to be that person. So I hopefully all of my podcasts or whatever will really eventually hit people in a good way. So
I have nothing but high hopes.
yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. You know,
Well,
it's what?
well, congratulations on finding a passion worth sharing with others.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking to myself, you know what? Stop being quiet. Go and share your story to the world and share it with others who may be in a worse situation than you are, you know? Um, it was just different growing up. I had a sister who wasn't the normal person growing up, and she was so much ahead of me in my life. Like, she knew how to tie her shoes before me, or like potty train before me, and I was behind. And I just don't know how what she sees in her eyes. Like, how does it feel to have a older sister who is diagnosed with a disability? It's really interesting, and just not having a lot of friends, or you think you have friends, but they are like, oh, she's weird, or why does she do this? Just that judgment that, once, if you just don't judge a person, you go up and say, hey, why do you do this? I want to know why you act this way. Just go to the source instead of really hurting those people who are not, a little bit different in the world. It's just, yeah, even my life now, being married, or, a job, it's a struggle, even more so because I'm a little bit different developing, but I just, really, really want to be a good advocate for somebody someday.
You were well on your way there. I believe it. I believe in it, and I believe it.
Yeah.
You'll get there. You just got to take your time and do things like this. Just shoot your shots when you can, and put yourself out there. And there's things will come and follow in the result will be things, and opportunities will follow.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. If you have any more questions, I'm open to them. Or are you feeling like you're good? Do you have any more questions for me? Or,
I loved hearing everything. I loved getting to know how you and Tyler met, and your vision for the podcast. That's a big one. How you plan on reaching people, and kind of like how you want to give opportunity where you can. So I feel like a kid after Thanksgiving dinner. I'm full.
Okay, good.
So yeah.
Okay, well, if you're done, I will do the closeout. And I have been talking to Box of Beats. Make sure to follow him on his platforms. I'll put the link in the description below. I hope everyone will enjoy this interview and Q&A, and I hope for the best. And I would like to thank you, Box of Beats, for joining me today.
Yay! We had a good time. Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for bringing me on. It's an honor.
Yeah, no problem.
And I'll see you soon.
All right.
Alrighty, bye.
Bye.